focus on the current crop. It's time now to sit back and enjoy the action. It's Dundee United against AZ Alkmaar in the third qualifying round of the Europa Conference League with Craig Levine, Craig Easton, Brian McLaughlin and Rob McLean.
Cheers, Kenny. It's the sort of noise you get when you bear in mind that Dundee United haven't been in Europe for 10 long years. The European nights are back at Tannadice. We've had the anthem "Love is in the Air." It does feel like there is something special in the air. We've had David Neri, just Brian Welsh was just speaking about him there, an absolute Tannadice legend. We've had him on the pitch, just taking us back, of course, our memory banks to the Dundee United team of the 80s. How special were they? And in fact, the 80s was a special period as well for AZ Alkmaar, because they got to the UEFA Cup final in 1981, lost to Ipswich, who then lost to Aberdeen the following season. The era of the new firm making waves in European football. Can Dundee United mark their comeback on the European stage with a big win? And it would be a big win if they were to take the scalp of AZ Alkmaar, who've been recent regulars in the European group stages, mainly the Europa League, Champions League it was in 2009. They were in the semi-finals of the UEFA Cup as recently as 2005, the quarter-finals 2007, maybe ranking in the Netherlands just outside the triumvirate of Feyenoord and Ajax and PSV, who tend to mop up most of the silverware in that country. But they are a top team, no doubt about it. Dundee United know what happens next. If they get through, they will play either Riga or Gil Vicente, the Portuguese team. They drew last night 1-1, but Dundee United will be looking no further than this first leg of this third qualifying round in the Europa Conference League. They'll want to be taking some sort of advantage to the Netherlands next Thursday. Don't believe all you hear about Alkmaar and all the VIP absentees. They do have half a dozen missing, but they do have some high-quality international players as well. And you do feel that Dundee United will have to hit a really good performance level tonight if they are to get the result they are after. Vitor Ferreira from Portugal is the referee. He's just organising things at the moment on a really pristine playing surface here at Tannadice, just what you expect at the start of the season. It will be AZ Alkmaar, fifth in the Eredivisie last season, who will get us underway. And it will be their top scorer of last season, Vangelis Pavlidis, to start this match. His first touch, a big roar around Tannadice, and we are underway. AZ Alkmaar in all blue, Dundee United in their traditional tangerine, and the ball is at the back with Alkmaar, who come here with no shortage of confidence. Boukema on the ball, central defence alongside the captain Bruno Martins Indy, who of course played with Stephen Fletcher at Stoke City, knows all about him. He wears the captain's armband, and it's all pretty quiet, cautious stuff at the start. And it is the number 10, Danny De Wit, on the ball. He's got a couple of European goals already across both legs of their last qualifying round match, in which they beat Tuzla City from Bosnia and Herzegovina. Dundee United haven't got near the ball so far. It's just being knocked quietly and effectively around the pitch by their Dutch visitors. Sunshine over Tannadice, the sun going down, still just glimmers of sunlight on the pitch as the team in all blue continue to dominate the early possession of the ball. Finally United have it with Kieran Freeman, one of two changes to their team. He thumps it downfield, and it's back in the possession of Hobie Verhulst, the AZ Alkmaar goalkeeper. Well, those possession stats are pretty slanted at the moment, aren't they?
Just looking how United are shaping up. They're just waiting for that moment to press it. We said,
yeah, it's a long ball from Martin Zindi, played out from the back, and it was Michael Lahto, the teenage Swede, coming in off the right-hand side, nipping in behind the Dundee United defence, and it was an early scare for United defensively.
He just tried to get the blind side of Kieran Freeman there, and it was the ball that was zipped into him. He couldn't really control it. But yeah, it's interesting. Dundee United.
Tony Watt, left-hand side. You'll get your season, get your sentence. You'll get your sentence completed shortly. Don't worry about it, Craig. That threat from Watt snuffed out by Alkmaar, who get it clear. Tony Watt working back, though, being exactly what we were talking about just minutes ago. Full of industry, full of aggression, determination. He got back having lost the ball, and he's won a free kick on the left-hand side.
Well, what I was trying to say is, Rob, that Dundee United were quite happy to allow them some possession, forcing them wide and just waiting for that moment to press. That's going to I think that is going to happen. Ian Hart's was the one that was maybe trying to help Stephen Fletcher force it into a certain area, and it'll be something to just look out for coming into the game.
Dundee United against AZ on BBC Radio Scotland. Free kick taken by Dylan Levitt, fires it across the pitch. Liam Smith floats it into the box. Tony Watt with the head flick on, nobody able to benefit. Charlie Mulgrew was up there, Stephen Fletcher was close, not close enough, and it just bounces fairly harmlessly into the gloves of Verhulst, and he plays it out to his skipper Martins Indy. Bruno at the back for the AZ with Sam Boukema alongside, just getting themselves bedded into the game. The Dutch side, whose domestic season hasn't begun yet, they play go-ahead Eagles at home on Sunday, but they do have those two European ties under their belt. As for United, that 1-1 draw at Rugby Park at the weekend as the Premiership got underway. The ball played up to their number 9, really strong on the ball, skillful as well, got a great touch, but it was good work against them, and it's Tony Watt again, who was just getting through a power of work here early on, and as Pavlidis, the number 9, threatened, he got back, he got in the way, there was a hand on his shoulder and a free kick given.
Yeah, it was great play, a great defensive play by Tony Watt. I mean, he's chased back and he managed to just take the ball off the toes of the Alkmaar player, and he was brought down, and it was the free kick was rightly given.
Freeman on halfway, replacing Scott McMahon at left back for Dundee United. Matthew Cudjoe drops out of the side as well, with Glenn Middleton getting his first start for Dundee United, looking to make an immediate impact with his new team. Could be quite a signing.
Just looking at it, Rob, Alkmaar have got a lot of possession, but Dundee United are quite high up the pitch in terms of, I'm not saying they're going crazy on their press, but they're making them play, they're trying to make them play balls from further back the pitch, so they're not just sitting there in the halfway line waiting for them to come into their own half. They're actually higher up the pitch. Ian Harks is a midfielder that's releasing to try and press the other centre half, and they're just trying to make it a little bit difficult for them to play through.
Hadzidiakos at right back, Reinders now in the midfield. Pavlidis plays it for Lahto to burst forward, threatening again in that 25 yards area out, but Dundee United stand pretty firm defensively again. What's not happening so far for United is getting the ball to stick up front.
I'll tell you what, Rob, I mean, Freeman's got to be careful. That's twice that, is it Lahto?
Lahto, yeah.
Lahto, yeah. That's twice he's looked to check where he was, turned away, Lahto's got across him and in behind 2 times in a row, and you need to watch for that, because that's very, very dangerous.
And it's like they're walling them into a false set. It's quite slow build up, and then all of a sudden there's 2 passes and it's fast, and then he's off the back here, and that's the one that they've got to watch.
Yeah, it does look very calm and controlled, and then there's an explosion of pace and movement, and suddenly they look really threatening. Dundee United haven't suffered any damage at all so far. The ball is back with Birigiti, but it's a really poor ball out straight at Etienne, who knocks it across goal. It's missed by Pavlidis right in front of goal. What a chance that was for Alkmaar to go in front after a howler from Birigiti, the goalkeeper. And here come AZ again down the left-hand side. The cross is blocked by Edwards. It's gone behind for the corner. That's a big escape.
That's an incredible let-off. Mark Birigiti just really slack, trying to just chip a little ball out. I think it was to Liam Smith. It was blocked and it gets cut out. And then Dundee United are really lucky because it just kind of ricochets off of Ryan Edwards and it just goes the other side of Pavlidis. But they've got away with one there, Rob.
Sure have. Corner kick left-hand side at Tannadice. Dundee United fans have gone quiet for the moment. 14,000 of them. Reinders with the corner, in swinging, headed away by Fletcher. Not clear yet though. De Witt at the edge of the box, knocks it back across to the other side, left-hand side of the box, where it's headed away for Dundee United, and they breathe a big sigh of relief as they get the ball up and out of play on halfway, because that was the biggest chance of the game so far, and it was a real opportunity for Vangelis. Pavlidis, their top scorer from last season, it seemed he would tap in from 6 yards out. Somehow he contrived to miss it completely.
Yeah, I think it was a ricochet, wasn't it? He got caught by surprise, but there's been a couple of warning signs already that when they get into the last third, or middle to last third, that they play fast, they play quick and accurately. Sibbald
down the line, Tony Watt chasing, and Boukema is across to make the challenge as United tried to create their first opportunity. Now the response from Alkmaar, and this time Birighitti does well. He was way out of his comfort zone. He was almost on the touchline left-hand side, but he got his body in the way. He stopped Pavlidis getting there, and he ushered it behind for the goal kick better.
The thing that Dundee United don't want to do is give a goal away. They want to, if Alkmaar are going to score, make them beat you, make them play through you, make them create something, but you don't want to give them anything, and they just, Mark Birighitti just got away with that one that he was just trying to clip out to Liam Smith. I think
he's going to be fun to watch, I think, by looks of things.
Yeah.
I mean, he's one of his, yeah, he was out his goal there sweeping up, but he used his body well against Pavlidis there.
The Birighitti clearance downfield is headed away by Jordy Classy, ends up out of play. There are Dundee United fans in the George Fox stand, the Eddie Thompson, the Jerry Kerr, the West stand as well. There are only 100 or so Alkmaar fans here. For the Dundee United players, it's a bit like surround sound, and what they want to do is get these fans motivated, get them noisy, and create a special atmosphere. That could be a big weapon tonight. Dundee United 0, AZ 0. Just like old times, not a seat to be had for the home support, just the segregation area. Actually 104 AZ fans. I spoke to the media man at AZ today. He said 104, I counted them. That's how many have come across from the Netherlands.
I'm sure there'll be a lot more Dundee United fans over for the second leg.
Well, I think they've got, I read today they've got 1,300 tickets.
I can see them being snapped up.
That's the official number, of course. Lacta on the attack down the right-hand side. He's been a definite problem for Kieran Freeman early on. Now down at the other end of the pitch, it's Verhulst, the goalkeeper, who comes out to slot in between the two centre-backs. Back to him from Boukema, and the path for the pass was cut off, so he hits it long. Ryan Edwards header away for Dundee United. Then it's Charlie Mulgrew. De Witt heads the ball forward. But
Lacto's causing Freeman problems, Rob, because he's staying so wide, and then all of a sudden at the last moment he comes in with real pace, isn't he?
But he's got to check his shoulder more
exactly.
often.
He's got to open himself up. He's trying to narrow off, isn't he, to stop that space in between himself and Charlie Mulgrew, but he has to know where he is. He's not looking enough. Lacto's hugging this touchline until the last moment, and it's
his head's got to be on the swivel all the time, because he's really quick, isn't he? Is it Lacto? Yeah, really quick. And I mean, he makes that movement across and behind very quickly, and Freeman's been caught on numerous occasions.
More loose play from Mark Birighitti, the goalkeeper, who tried to whip one out left side to Freeman, didn't find him. It's gone out for a throw-in. That means possession for AZ Alkmaar, and they've had plenty of that from kick-off as well, and they do have that ability to change the pace of the game very quickly. Right-hand side, Hadzidiakos, the Greek international right back. Lovely slick football from them, but a good challenge as well from Craig Sibbald to break things up. Then it's Freeman up towards halfway, and there was a foul challenge on Ian Harkes by Sam Boukema. Free kick United.
Nice neat play there from AZ, some 1-2s, but you know, it was good to see Sibbald and Levitt just snuff that one out. They're playing close together. It was the right thing to do. Make it hard for them to play around them. And Sibbald was in the right position.
Jamie McGrath's on the bench for United tonight, just signed yesterday on loan from Wigan for the season. Desperate to be involved tonight, and he may well be, according to his manager pre-match. Depends how this pans out, of course. Charlie Mulgrew on the ball with a long diagonal up to Stephen Fletcher. He helps it on, and the left fullback Milos Kerkez, the 18-year-old Hungarian, gets it away. He won himself a place in the senior squad in June for the Nations League matches. A couple of teenagers in the team for AZ, and the guy we've been talking about, Michael Lahto, he is the other one, 19-year-old Swedish, and he is a major threat. But Dundee United beginning to find some form here as Sibbald knocks it across the pitch towards Tony Watt. Then it's Fletcher, a really well judged header out to Kieran Freeman. Well, Kieran Freeman kept his eye on the ball, but he didn't keep his eye on the touchline, and he backed off, and by the time the ball got to him, the ball was out of play.
Just before that though, Rob, I liked the way Levitt, he could have played an easy pass to Liam Smith. He tried the harder one, he just broke the line into Craig Sibbald, and it was Sibbald that tried to, you know, switch the play. I think it would have been a better idea maybe to try and go and play through them then, because that was the one that he's broken the line with. But it was good composure from Levitt in the midfield.
The ball in the air, Dylan Levitt is the man challenging for it. It goes out. It's a Dundee United throw. It's a real test of the Tannadice team, this, and not too much game time to get ready for a test at this level. Nearly won at the weekend. We're not for the Ash Taylor equalised late on for Kilmarnock. Jack Ross has made some significant signings. Jamie McGrath adds to the total.
I think you could say both teams are in the same sort of stage of the preparation, if you know what I mean, because Dundee United a few pre-season games, but one competitive one against Kilmarnock, and kind of similar to AZ.
That's a lovely return pass from Fletcher, in from Freeman, collected by Harkes. Now it's Watt, left-hand side, strong enough to hold off the challenge. Looked like it could be a free kick. Play goes on. Watt's done well. Really prominent in the game for United. Left-hand side, clips it into the middle. Liam Smith tried to get there. Reinders gets it away for AZ. Liam Smith goes flying into the challenge as AZ look to counter. No free kick. Play goes on. And just listen to the volume being turned up in Tannadice.
You know, it takes 2 or 3 committed tackles and this place goes crazy, doesn't it?
Ryan Edwards, he was taking everything there, wasn't he?
It's Edwards on the ball, midway inside the United half, finding the head of Fletcher. So clever with his little flicks and knock-ons. Dundee United's number 9, moving the ball well here. Levitt in the middle, Freeman on the left, Tony Watt up ahead of him. And the challenge from Hadzi Diakos. The ball goes out, United's throw. Freeman takes it. Levitt, the Welsh international. Craig Sibbald is further forward. Touches it back towards Edwards, the captain. Levitt, again, ex of Manchester United, of course. Harkes. And on the right-hand side, Glenn Middleton. Pass cut out, but he gets it back. He's bursting into the middle of the pitch, trying to get to the edge of the area. Just outnumbered by blue shirts. Now the counter-attack possibilities with De Witt for AZ, but he's delayed the pass. Dundee United get back into their shape, and the challenge in the end from Smith puts the ball out, off De Witt. Dundee United's throw, 0-0.
Quite a good passage of play from Dundee United in terms of keeping possession a little bit better. Just simple passes, really. That was what they were doing a lot better than that little bit of 5 minutes. But then Middleton loses possession, but you see the reaction, getting back in and getting a tackle on.
Reinders driving at the edge of the area. Levitt's challenge. Etienne plays it in. Blocked by Edwards. Dundee United clear it. Tony Watt gets the break of the ball on halfway. Plays it to Stephen Fletcher, and he gets it back. It's a really good pass. Tony Watt with Harkes on the outside. Drifting into the box now. Turns it back. Fletcher 25 yards out. Tried to play it back for Harkes, who was inside the box. Martin Zindi, his former teammate, cuts it out. Just listen to the noise. Levitt on the halfway line. Dundee United are very effectively growing into this game. Mulgrew to Edwards, just inside the United half. Smith on the right side. Middleton's on the move. Back it goes. United holding on to possession of the ball. 36-year-old Charlie Mulgrew. Levitt alongside, really good pass from him, finding Fletcher. Sibbald in behind. Smith driving down the right. Glenn Middleton in front of him, heading for the byline. Kirkes, the fullback, blocks. There was a hint of handball as the ball bounced up towards him, but it goes out in the end for a United throw. Anyway, 15 yards inside the AZ half. BBC Radio Scotland coverage on the TV as well, of course. Dundee United 0, AZ Alkmaar. After 10 years, United are back on the European stage. Edwards and Smith, and keeps it well, Liam Smith, composed. Now Edwards, a long ball. Harkes makes the move, gets a lovely touch as well to control it. Holds off Boukema, tried to jink around him on the byline, just lost his balance, and that allowed the Dutchman to clear. And when it was launched up, well, they'd have played offside.
Harkes has to be more intelligent in that situation. He's getting fouled in the corner. He goes down, takes a free kick, which he should have done, and that gives his team a chance to put the ball into the box.
United have it with Freeman, left-hand side, right on the touchline, linking with Tony Watt. Freeman just overruns it, but he's helped out again by his teammate Tony Watt. He's here, there, and he's everywhere, doing lots of good work, and he stopped AZ there when they looked to counter. The ball goes out just underneath us for a throw-in.
Craig's right there with Ian Harkes in terms of he maybe should have tried and bought the foul, especially when the defender was all over him, but it was a really good run in behind, because Stephen Fletcher would come short, come into that wee space to try and link the play. Harkes is the one that's going to try and stretch the game a wee bit, run in behind, and I like the run from him. It was just when he got there, he needs to, like
the run
said,
was good,
yeah.
but his decision making, I mean, he was on his own. Even if he had managed to get the ball under control, there was nobody to support him. So in those situations, you're best just to take the free kick, and then you get a situation where you get 5 or 6 of your players in the box. It's
about being streetwise, isn't it? In those situations.
Yeah, streetwise.
And there's somebody that's streetwise there. Tony Watt's just felt a little bit of contact, and he's down. He's brought a foul just inside the.
But it's true, Craig. If that was Tony Watt that was in the corner there, he would have got a foul. Guaranteed.
Yeah.
So Dundee United have a free kick. It's about 15 yards inside the Alkmaar half. Tony Watt just don't know whether he's hobbling towards the referee for effect there, or whether he has taken a knock.
He's got Paul Sturrock shin guards on, I think. There's those tiny little shin guards. It's reminiscent of Paul Sturrock when he used to play with the shorts at his the socks at his ankles.
Now there was a player. Dylan Levitt curls the free kick in, headed away by Boukema. Back in it comes from Watt. He just put too much on the cross for Fletcher at the back post, but it's kept in by Harkes, left-hand side. Rolls it to Sibbald, takes a good touch onto his left foot. Great hit from Sibbald, and it's parried away by Verhulst, the goalkeeper. Really good hit from the Dundee United midfielder. And listen to the response that gets from this all round the ground support for the home team.
They've slowly been coming into this game, haven't they? They started on the back foot and gave away a lot of possession to the opposition, but they're really starting to come into the game now.
There's momentum about United. Sibbald again, right side of the pitch this time. Good close control. Breaks the way of Fletcher. Cleared by the midfielder Jordi Classy for AZ Alkmaar. But United, when they're losing it, are now winning it back very quickly. It was Levitt, and now Charlie Mulgrew squares it to Ryan Edwards. Growing in confidence, Dundee United. They know how well they have to perform here tonight. They had an early escape, but they're beginning to find some quality football. Pass from Freeman, cannoned off the referee. He was going to stop it, Vitor Ferreira, but it did break the way of Charlie Mulgrew, who swings a cross-field ball to Liam Smith, and he rolls it into the middle to Sibbald, who's been very involved in the game in the last few minutes.
Craig Sybil's shot there, he gets it off, and it was because his first touch was really good. It came back to him and he actually takes it back towards where it came from, which maybe wrong-footed the defender, and he just wants to get it onto that left foot, hits it. Pretty solid shot. It was too straight, but good play from Dundee United.
Bruno Martins-Indy, the captain for AZ on the ball. Baukema alongside. Hadzidiakos plays it forward, and it's Danny de Wit on the touchline. There's Lachdo, and now with Classy doing what they were doing at the start of the match. AZ and just pinging the ball around the pitch. But Dundee United have had a good spell on the halfway line. Hadzidiakos back from Danny de Wit. Baukema to Bruno Martins-Indy, and then it's Jordi Classy, the 31-year-old. It's a really good pass. Etienne is in, takes a heavy touch, and that allows Berigiti to get off his line and dive at the feet of the Dutchman.
And he's just run off the back of Glenn Middleton there, hasn't he?
Yeah, Smith had pushed on in the wider area and Middleton was inside, and he was the one that had to chase back. I mean, to be fair, he recognised the situation and managed to get back in time.
I think he'd done enough, but it was a really nice slide ball, a nice slide rule ball again from AZ.
Classy's pass, it's another ball inside a fullback, this time Freeman, but this time he stretches out, uses everything he had to hook that clear just as Lachdo was about to get in behind him again.
AZ wide players have got real pace, Craig, haven't they?
They have, and it's not just that, it's the accuracy, the passes that they're playing.
Yeah.
It's a real ploy, that, isn't it, to rifle these balls inside the fullbacks and use the pace of their wide attackers. Lachdo on one side, Etienne on the other, and in goes Tony Watt yet again, and he wins another free kick. It's going to be a yellow card this time for Hadzidiakos. He took a bad touch on the end of the long ball. It enticed Tony Watt to nip the ball away. The Dundee United man was caught late. It is a free kick, it is a booking.
Yeah, and I mean, the most successful tackler on the pitch at the moment is Tony Watt.
Yeah.
I mean, that's 6 now account that he's managed to get himself into situations where he's stealing the ball from the opposition. Demonstrating
exactly the determination Dundee United need, how much they need to pour into this match to get a result at the other end. Dylan Levitt with the free kick. It's headed away by de Wit. On the half volley, back in from Watt. Martins-Indy with a header this time. Harks for United to Charlie Mulgrew, just taking the ball out of the box, left-hand side, holding on to it on the outside of his left boot, tried to roll it back in for Harks. Interception and played up to Lachdo. His pass back the way, Baukema. United putting pressure on AZ as they try to play the ball out, forcing the mistake. Harks into the middle, Fletcher with a flick. Harks couldn't quite get there. AZ get it clear.
Glenn Middleton made a really good run, and I think Fletcher could have maybe just dummied it from him. He maybe didn't get the shout, but if he'd have let that go through his legs, I think Glenn Middleton, he was in, wasn't he?
Dundee United 0, AZ Alkmaar 0. Third qualifying round, first leg. Back in Alkmaar goes this game next week. It will be settled next week. Can Dundee United get themselves an advantage? But can they stifle the threat as well of the Dutch team as they threaten? Really good play at the back from Charlie Mulgrew, under pressure, 2 blue shirts against him, but Freeman does lose possession. The curling ball in from the right side from Classy, and at full stretch Mulgrew turns it behind for the corner.
Dylan Levitt's pass was just didn't have enough pace on it, put Kieran Freeman under a bit of pressure. It was a good challenge from the AZ player, and then Charlie Mulgrew's in the right position there in the front post. Great
I thought he wasn't going to get back. There was a corridor there for the ball to go in between him and the goalkeeper. He managed to stretch and put the ball out for the corner.
You saw that's where Pavlidis was wanting it, wasn't he? He was trying to get in there.
It's the Norwegian international Hakon Etienne to take the corner kick for AZ, right side, just at the Tannadice tunnel. In it comes, lots of pace on it. Who was there? Guess who? Tony Watt with the header away. It's not dealt with yet, though, but danger over now. It was Pavlidis, left side of the box, when the ball came his way from that glancing header away from Watt. He tried to curl it for the top corner. It wasn't close.
I think a factor is going to be as well, was it Hatzi? Sorry, I'm trying to say, is it
Hatzi Diakos?
Yeah, he's been booked, so now he's under a wee bit of pressure, isn't
and he's
he?
up against Tony.
So give Tony Watt the ball, going 1v1. Can you get him into a problem, trying to make a challenge or not make a challenge? You know, that's what you're trying to exploit now.
And he's good at that, isn't he, Tony? Tony the Tiger, he's a man.
Tony the Tiger.
He's great.
The wonderful thing about Tony.
Great.
And he has been pretty wonderful so far. Lacto coming in off the right side, linking with Pavlidis. Classy switches it across, but the Dundee United pressure on the team in blue is forcing mistakes, and that crossfield ball was never going to hit the target of Milos Kerkez. It bounces out for the Dundee United throw. United 0, AZ 0.
Rob, I think that the United players have settled down. I think they were a little bit nervous in the first 5 or 10 minutes, and now they're really starting to believe in themselves, and what they're doing to demonstrate that is they're getting after the ball now. They're really putting pressure on the AZ Alkmaar player.
Pressure.
That's a typical example there.
Yeah, pressure on the goalkeeper from Glenn Middleton. 27 minutes gone at Tannadice, and it's still 0-0, and much to be happy about for the 14,000 United fans who are here. More wanted tickets. That's all they could allocate. And well, you've heard it yourselves. It is some atmosphere when Dundee United get going here. The ball with Edwards on halfway. Alongside him is Levitt at 21. He's youngest in the United team. Lots of talk about young players last season, and maybe not such an age average this time around. It's an experienced Dundee United team. And the ball is played up towards Tony Watt. His header on. Boukema just lost his footing for a moment. Recovers and steers the ball back to Verhulst, the goalkeeper, who just launches it. And an unchallenged header for Charlie Mulgrew. On the halfway line, Liam Smith challenging. And Glenn Middleton as well, ball winning. Really good play from him. Lovely little turn. And trying to link with Hart. It bounces off the United midfielder. Possession gone from a promising looking situation. Good from Middleton on his first start for his new team. Hadzidiakos to Lacto. Good challenge from Sibold on Reinders. And across the pitch to Bruno Martins Indy. Into the centre circle. And Jordi Classy. Patient play, but they can change the pace very, very quickly. AZ, as we've seen on quite a few occasions, but still goalless at Tannadice with the best part of half an hour played on BBC Radio Scotland. Nice little dinked ball in behind Freeman, caught out again by Lacto, gets himself turned, heading towards the edge of the box. Left-footed cross. The minute he struck it, we all knew that it was heading into no man's land, beyond everyone, bouncing behind for the goal kick. But worrying again that he managed to elude the attention of Freeman.
I think it was quite clever from AZ because they had a full back in possession. Then you got Devitt coming out to the wide area, which then, you know, Tony Watt's worried about him. Kieran Freeman's then worried about that one because there's maybe a 3v2 scenario, and that's when he got in behind. You know, his shot comes to nothing. But yes, it was quite a clever way of trying to build that up and create the overload from AZ. It wasn't like they've done before, but you know, they're a dangerous side in terms of when they're in possession and when their wide players are on the ball.
They reached the knockout stages of last season's Europa Conference League. Here is Lacto right in the middle of the pitch this time, laying it back to Reinders. Classy is at short range for him. Back it goes with Boukema, the central defender, steers it wide. Hadzidiakos against Tony Watt, holds off the challenge, whips it in. Reinders got a touch, bounces back off Mulgrew. Reinders again into the central area, and it just bounced off Danny Devitt, who didn't know too much about it, and spins into the gloves of Birighitti. The Australian goalkeeper, an international.
That Jordi Class is a great name, isn't it?
You have to live up to that surname, though, don't you? Free kick given against Stephen Fletcher for his challenge on Boukama. Who's coming a card here? Yellow for Dundee United's number 9.
You only think maybe an elbow.
Yeah, I think that's what they're saying. I don't think he meant it, though. It was like, it just looked like he was trying to hold off the defender and probably made a bit of contact, but I didn't think there was too much. I didn't like the way the referee was going over there. I know he was going to stop Pocket, but I still thought he could have changed his mind there just with the reaction.
So that's a booking for the former Scotland striker. Free kick taken. Hadzidiakos fires it through, intended for the movement of Danny de Wit, but too much on it. Skids away off the Tannadice turf and through again to Birighitti, out to Dylan Levitt, clipped up to halfway. Harks to Watt, and he nods it towards Fletcher. Alkmaar have it. Nutmeg on Watt from Hadzidiakos. The Greek fullback goes again down the line into de Wit, back to Classy. Great play from Craig Sibbald. He was right on top of Jordi Classy there to break things up in the midfield for Dundee United.
He's done that really well in the opening half an hour. Craig Sibbald's been in the right place at the right time. He kind of moves well into these positions where he anticipates where the play is going to be, and he's made some vital interceptions.
That last Dundee United game in Europe was against Dynamo Moscow in the Europa League qualifiers 2012. A 2-2 draw followed by 5-0, 7-2 they lost on aggregate. It's been a long wait to get back to this level again. Kerkez lofts one forward for Alkmaar. It spins at the edge of the area, which made it difficult for Edwards. Pavlidis was waiting for it to come down, and just a split second of tension around the ground as that looked awkward for the Dundee United captain. He got it away, and now Tony Watt doing what he does and driving at an angle into the middle of the pitch. Then it's Sibbald keeping the ball moving out to Smith and Middleton. Liam Smith on the ball, prods it back. Middleton wearing 15. Liam Smith again on the left foot, doesn't get enough height on the cross. de Wit heads it away, and suddenly the ball is back on halfway with Charlie Mulgrew.
It's a proper contest now, isn't it? I mean, United are now given as good as they got in the early part of the match, and they look just as likely to score as AZ do.
Yeah, both teams are going toe to toe, but it's really exciting to see Tony Watt driving at the heart of the defence there.
Liam Smith on the right hand side. Craig Sibbald makes himself available, ex of Falkirk, ex of Livingston. How will he be with better players around him? Will he flourish? Well, there have been quite a few promising signs, but of course Jamie McGrath will be breathing down his neck to get into this Dundee United 11. That's what Jack Ross wants, of course, is top level competition for places, driving standards up. Edwards on the ball, halfway line, right hand side, trying to angle it into the feet of Stephen Fletcher. Too many blue shirts around, and back it goes to Hobie Verhulst in goal for AZ Alkmaar. Still goalless with about 32 minutes played at Tannadice. It's an intriguing tussle, this, and Dundee United more than a match so far for their Dutch opponents, but as yet I guess you would have to say not a serious save for either of the goalkeepers. Just that scare early on though for United, and this could be another one because Kerkez gets himself to the byline, left hand side, the young Hungarian rolls it back. Etienne with the cross, back post, it's a chance and it's a header down. It's a comfortable save in the end. Could have been a more menacing header that for Birighitti to deal with. It was Michael Lachto at the back post, but it was a pretty harmless header in the end.
He got up well at the back post. I mean, Freeman maybe doesn't see him early enough as well. We're talking about that body position, aren't we, Craig? And he maybe just he's a bit closed off
to get up against him and block him so that he couldn't get over the top.
Yep.
And I mean, there wasn't an awful lot of power in the cross, so there wasn't an awful lot of power in the header, but it was a bit worrying that he got a free header at the back area.
Yeah, he just didn't. He got neither the power on it nor the angle on it to get it away from the goalkeeper, and it was a pretty comfortable stop for Mark Birighitti. Under pressure in the midfield, Ian Harks, but the free kick goes against Reinders. the AZ midfielder, who tells the referee with a gesture towards him what he thinks about that decision. Back it goes from Mulgrew to Birighitti, and he plays it up to the halfway line for Smith. Came off the head of Etienne and out for a Dundee United throw, getting themselves up the pitch again. Right hand side, United 0, AZ Alkmaar 0. Sometimes in these European qualification rounds you get teams you don't know too much about, and it's difficult to judge the scale of difficulty. It's not one of those games tonight, because we know all about the recent European history of the opponents tonight, and Dundee United have to be good. They can't afford to be making mistakes and offering up chances to a quality team. If they're going to win, Dundee United will want them to work for their win. It's 0-0, and we're getting ever closer towards half-time. About 10 minutes to go in the first half. Reinders, Kerkez, the 18-year-old at left back, the experienced skipper alongside him, Bruno Martins Indy. Hadzidiakos on the left-hand side, 2 Greek internationals in the team, the right back and of course the number 9. And United will be keeping a constant eye on Vangelis Pavlidis leading the line. Back with his fellow countryman again, Hadzidiakos.
When you look at both sides, Rob, they're almost playing similar, because the Vittenko's, you know, the Vit's a midfielder, he's going to support that man Vangelis there. He's just...
It's a great flick from Pavlidis, and Lachto takes a heavy touch. Charlie Mulgrew's challenge, and the free kick goes United's way for the follow-up from Lachto. That looked a little bit dangerous there for Dundee United.
So what I was just saying is, and it was an example there, it was Pavlidis comes a bit shorter, the Vit stretches again like Ian Hart's has been doing, and it creates maybe that little bit of space for him to receive it. He flicks it around the corner on that occasion to Lachto, and then you've got the wide players involved in the game, and it's almost like a carbon copy. Both teams kind of playing the same sort of way.
Yeah, I mean, and United were a little bit fortunate to get the free kick. I don't think there was much in it, and the ball had deflected through into the middle of the penalty box.
Birighitti with a free kick. De Wit's header came off his teammate, Classy. Tony Watt is there, and he just fell on the back of the legs of De Wit, and it will be a free kick just about on the halfway line for AZ Alkmaar. Dundee United UEFA Cup quarter-finalists in 82 and 83, semi-finalists 84, finalists in 87. They were something special in the 80s, where the Tangerine team at that stage, a force to be reckoned with. Those days are gone. Dundee United looking to write another important European chapter tonight, but they could be under pressure here as Lachto again cuts in off the right hand side, gives it to Reinders. Now Jordi Classy. Wide is Hadzidiakos, and as he fires it into the feet of the young Swede up front, it bounces off him. Dundee United hit it up towards Fletcher. His knockdown gets away from Harks, out just underneath us. It will be an AZ Alkmaar throw. Pascal Janssen, their head coach, is keeping close tabs. Jack Ross as close as he can get to the pitch for Dundee United as well. It's been an engrossing game so far. We await the opening goal. Etienne popping up across on the right side, mainly on the left for him so far. Reinders steers it across to Lachto, cuts inside, threatens again. Reinders in the middle of the pitch, but he's about 30 yards out. Dundee United forcing AZ back the way. Reinders now on the right hand side. Good challenge by Charlie Mulgrew, got there first, lost by Levitt. Reinders in the middle, looking to spark something here late on in the first half for AZ Alkmaar. Kerkez, the left back, is forward, right up at the edge of the box. Back with Reinders, tries the long-range shot. Good block by Levitt. Now the counter from Tony Watt. Skips away from the challenge of Jordi Classy, then steers a clever pass inside for Hart. He was always struggling to control it, but he did manage to just work it one way or another back to Kieran Freeman. Then there's a late challenge on Tony Watt, and it's a free kick for Dundee United.
You've got to admire Freeman's, it's not Freeman, sorry, Hark's his energy and his willingness to get forward, and I mean, he just needs to take a breath at times, you know, because there's a good ball from Tony Watt, and he's still running at 1,000 miles an hour. He needs to get himself composed, receive the ball, move it on, and get himself in the box.
4 minutes left in the first half. Dundee United 0, AZ Alkmaar 0. Charlie Mulgrew, left-footed, swings in the free kick. Nobody on the end of it for United. Hadzidiakos was there to head the ball clear and challenged for AZ. Now it's Ryan Edwards probing again at that blue line at the back for AZ. Poor pass from Reinders back to his skipper, and Martins Indy, almost in a bit of disgust at the quality of that pass, just hacks it into the stand on the far side, and Dundee United take a quick throw. Are we going to get a twist in this tale late on in the first half? Fletcher steers it to Levitt. Kieran Freeman, left-hand side. Back with the Welsh international again. Craig Sibbald in the centre circle. Turns it back towards Mulgrew. Edwards alongside. Pavlidis pressuring. And back it goes to goalkeeper Mark Birighitti. The ball at his feet, just a yard outside the box. Flights it downfield, but it just gives possession back to Hadzidiakos. Freeman won it for United, and now Tony Watt, some room down the left-hand side to try to create something. Heading for the byline, took a deflection. Reinders steers it away. He had a lot of time to try to pick somebody out there, Tony Watt. No joy at that time. Difficult to fault him the game he's had so far. Here he is again, and on the left side of the penalty box. I think he was caught in two minds about shooting and crossing, and in the end he whipped it straight into the gloves of Verhulst.
He saw the run of Stephen Fletcher. He actually got a couple of yards on his marker, Stephen Fletcher, and Watts just tried to curve that into his path, and he's not got enough on it. I don't think he was shooting there, Rob. I think he was trying to do that.
Yeah.
He maybe just was falling backwards, off balance. Yeah. But you know, it was an opportunity. It was Wachto's been good, but he's trying to dribble, and he's just outside his own penalty box when he can just play the ball simply. United take advantage of it, and it's, you know, it's not just them giving the ball. It's not AZ giving the ball away. It's Dundee United having real pressure in the final third. It's like Glenn Middleton, Tony Watt putting people under pressure.
Dundee United have to stay switched on in these closing moments of the first half. They would love to go in front. They don't want to go behind. Baukuma to Lachto, clinging to the touchline, right-hand side. He steps in and he plays the ball to Etienne, coming in off the left-hand side. Those two have been very effective. That time the pass, though, the final ball from Etienne had too much on it, and it was always heading the way of Dundee United goalkeeper Mark Birighitti.
When Smith gets dragged inside, Glenn Middleton's got to do the work, and that's obviously instructions from Jack, you know, that if he does the run the length of the pitch, the full back, then Middleton's got to go with him. And to be fair to him, I think maybe the first time, and then after that, every single time he's done his job properly.
We're in the last minute of the first half at Tannadice. Great atmosphere, and a game to keep your eyes on constantly. That is the half-time whistle, and Dundee United have been mighty impressive after a very confident start from AZ Alkmaar, and they had that early chance as well, and Etienne's cutback somehow got away from their main man Pavlidis up front. It took a little nick away from their number 9, and at that point their big chance was gone. They've looked a pretty classy outfit throughout, but Dundee United have been more than a match. They've got themselves into really good areas. Final ball could be better, but plenty of promise in this first half that they can get the result they're after to take to the Netherlands next Thursday. Half-time here in a ground that is pretty much all tangerine. Dundee United 0, AZ Alkmaar 0.
Dundee United in the Europa Conference League qualifiers.
Live on Sports Sound from BBC Radio Scotland.
There's no substitute.
Welcome to the games. Who are you here to support?
Bringing you the latest from the Commonwealth Games.
Good afternoon from Birmingham. The excitement really mounting.
So it's really special to represent Team Scotland.
Following Scotland's teams in continental competition.
As a player, you want to be successful, you want to play in Europe.
Off the bar and in! What a strike! What a goal!
And there's comprehensive coverage of the new league season.
Gold, drama, action, reaction. You will get it all right here.
You leant over to me and said the words 6 point of the day, Stuart. Tell us about the first day of the season.
A summer of sport continues.
Goal!
Catch all the action and the talking points across BBC Radio Scotland.
So, half-time, Dundee United 0, AZ Alkmaar 0. Tom English with me in the studios looking at the match stats. Tom, 46% possession for United. 1 shot, 3 shots for Alkmaar. Both have had 1 shot on target. It's cagey. It's not been a classic so far.
No, but I didn't think it would be. I think United are holding their own. Look, you'd like to see them creating chances, but they're finding space out left through Tony Watt. If they're not being outclassed, they're not giving up big chances. They're working extremely hard. So yeah, it's tight. You're right. It's tight. It's cagey. But nil all is fine. Nil all. I don't think there's anything wrong with nil all. I don't think there's anything wrong with nil all at full time, to be perfectly honest with you. Although you'd want to be 1 or 2 up, going away from home. But I think they've been pretty diligent and professional about what they've been doing. They just need that little bit of extra accuracy when Watt is on the ball and deliveries into the box.
Would Tony Watt look to be the main threat for you right now, Craig Easton? I mean, what will Jack Ross be saying to his players at half-time, do you think?
Well, I think first of all, yeah, Tony Watt is going to be the main threat. You see him when he drives with the ball. He done it one time. He drove at the heart of the AZ defence, and then he lays it off to Sibbald, and United get out wide. And I just would like to see him go 1v1 again, Hatzidakis, because he's on a booking now. And it would be good to see him isolated with him at some point, and maybe go in a 1v1 situation and see what he can do. But he's a decent defender, the boy, and he's done well. It's been a really good battle down this right hand side for AZ and left hand side for Dundee United. But Jack Ross will be in there saying, look, you're as good as them. That's what his message will be. There's not much in the game, like Tom said. It's not a classic, but it's really intriguing. There's not been loads of goal-mouth action, but there's been really, it's pretty evenly balanced in terms of the midfield battle. I've been enjoying looking at Craig Sibbald, and there in a Dundee United shirt, and the way he's breaking up plays in the right position, and he's keeping the passes simple, but he's also round about the box when he's needed in attacking third, and he has the one shot on target that Dundee United have. And I think him and Dylan Levitt are having a really good partnership. Ian Hart's, like we've mentioned, loads of energy. He's doing that support role. He's trying to go and support Stephen Fletcher. He just has to have that bit of composure when he's on the ball, Craig. Yeah,
I tend to think that I think Stephen Fletcher's doing well. He's had some very good touches and link-up play. He's been good in the air. He's won most of his headers. But what happens is when Hearts goes to support, they should be looking to hit Fletcher to then go to Hearts when he's through, because I think if he's part of the build-up, he doesn't have the same feel for those attacking moves that maybe Fletcher or even Sibbald or maybe Tony Watt has. He's one who, for me, would be bursting through when the play's going on and maybe getting a one-touch finish or something.
The third man run.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's what he's really good at. If he's involved in the build-up play and the ball's not 100% accurate, I don't think he's got good enough feet to adjust, get the ball under control and release a pass quickly. But he's done a power of work, don't get me wrong, and I admire his attitude's fantastic. But when he's involved in the build-up play, at times it's not quite as fluid as at other times.
No, sorry, you're looking at me. I just want to compliment the whoever's playing the music at Tannadice. The view, outstanding.
Oh yes,
Dundee's finest, of course.
There was a guy before that, Nick Mercer. I'm going to give him a shout. He's
is he good?
He's just got up and coming from Leith.
What's his name?
Nick Mercer. Nicky Lips. He's actor.
Also, Tom, you've got a face for the radio, so that's why you mentioned it, didn't you?
sorry, guy. I didn't mean to disrespect you by listening to Kyle Faulkner singing while you were talking. But I could do both.
Welcome back to Sports Sound, Tom English. Things some things don't change. Craig Levein firing shots all over the place.
He's ruthless. He's taking me down there a peg or two, isn't he, the big man?
He's some man. We'll get some messages in from listeners tonight. Willie Laidlaw says, considering the number of illegal tackles committed against Tony Watt, you think he'd wear even bigger shin pads and the ones that actually conform to the law, because they certainly don't. I've often thought that there's not much protection with these shin pads, and he wears the socks at the ankles. And here's a contrast in opinions. Jock says this game would send a glass eye to sleep. Gordon McKinley, Tom, says, been a good first half. I suppose that's in terms of the results so far for United.
The beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Yes.
And it's not a classic, but as Craig said, it is interesting. It's an interesting game. Tactically, it's interesting. There's a lot at stake here. You know, so they're not. You know, there's a lot at stake for both of these clubs. It's not a thing of beauty, but I wasn't really expecting it to be. But I'm enjoying it at the same time.
Yeah, Tom, when you get two teams working really, really hard, it's actually quite difficult to get a really beautiful match, if you want to call it that, you know, with a lot of really good play and good chances, because the diligence of both teams so far has been excellent.
They've been honest, haven't they?
They have.
Both sets of players, very honest, really working hard.
And that in itself has some beauty to it, you know. For me anyway, it's just watching the real effort. You can see it in the players, the effort they make and the instant reactions they have when they have to chase back, like Glenn Middleton a few times.
Yeah, I've wrote that down on my notes here, Craig. It was both sides good reaction.
I was reading them.
Is that why you said that?
He did sound more informed tonight, I have to say.
He actually, Levein has sounded really clued up on this game.
It has.
I wonder what's different about it.
Can me and Craig be together every week?
Homework for him. What we were saying is both teams have got that reaction when they lose possession, and it's like we were saying before, it's their wingers. Their wingers have got that reaction. It's Tony Watt on that one side, it's Glenn Middleton, it's Wachto on this side, and then I think it's Evgen on the other side. When they lose possession, bang, their first reaction is, can I go and get it back? Can I go and help my fullback? Listen, that's the way it should be. Managers as coaches, we ask for that all the time. You don't always get it. In this game, both sides are all doing it. They're trying to track runners, so that makes it hard for those balls that AZ are playing through. So Glenn Middleton's tracking back. No, you know, it just takes for someone to go to sleep, make a wee mistake, a break of a ball, and that can happen. But at the moment, both teams kind of cancelling each other out in terms of the work rate with the work rate that they're displaying.
In terms of what you guys are seeing there, and it's only the second competitive game for Jack Ross, are you seeing much difference in terms of the style of play, the setup from what we saw under Tam Courts last season?
Well, I think there's more intensity in this game, but that's maybe just the nature of the game. You know, because they're all excited about getting involved in this European competition. So one of the things I think is really interesting is the sort of setup in the midfield area for United. You know, I'm a huge fan. I think you mentioned it at the top of the programme, Tom, about how much he's improved Levitt. I mean, he's a joy to watch, and when he drops down to receive possession, he quite often plays that disguised pass and manages to break through the lines. I think Craig spoke about it once in the first half, but he's a very, very clever player. I really like him. And then Harks was spoken about, but I'll tell you what, if you're playing in that midfield and trying to match those runs that Harks making, you're going to be sleeping well tonight, that's for sure. So I think for me there's real intrigue in the midfield area, and I think that's what it's playing out actually just now. The whole thing's been playing out in the midfield, so it has been really interesting. And I just wonder if, you know, this could end up 0-0. If the both teams can keep this work rate up, then the likelihood is there won't be any goals.
I think you're right, Craig, in terms of the control in the midfield's been really good, and I think that's maybe one thing that's, we're 2 games in terms of competitive games, and I'm saying improved. It just looks more controlled in the midfield area. I still think that they're lacking that wee bit in the final third in terms of, like you've mentioned, a little bit of composure, a really good incisive, or a cross that's whipped in. And they've got the players that can do it. I mean, Middleton's over there, he's working hard with William Smith to try and find a half a yard to whip something in, but it's just been good defending. They've been blocking, there's no been any quarter given at any point. But that's the one thing I would say. We've been watching United quite a lot last season. Can they be more effective? Can they create more chances for Stephen Fletcher? Can you get Tony Watt in the box? on the ball, asking questions of defenders. That's what I would like to see.
But he does have options, Craig, now, doesn't he? We've spoken a lot about McGrath, what he will bring to his side. I thought, Niskanen at times looked very direct last season.
Yeah, he did. And me and Craig Levine talked about it just before the game, where Niskanen was asked to do a lot of defensive work last season. He was actually sometimes asked to play in a left wing-back position. So he was really set up to do. Yeah, you were wanting him to go forward. Obviously, that was his main remit. But the amount of work he did back the park probably limited what he did in the attacking third. Has he got the quality in the final third? That's maybe just my question as well. Can he pick that final pack? Can he pick the right cross? Not just put it in the box. Can he pick the cut back or the hang it up? That's my question. They've got a kid on there, Logan Chalmers, who's at Inverness last season for experience. He's one that can come up and that can come on. He's got real pace, drive at people. Can he do that consistently this season? I'm not sure, but he could be a really good impact off the bench.
Yeah, I saw him, Tom, in a few games, actually in the playoffs, Logan Chalmers. He's got a bit about him, he's got creativity. I mean, we spoke before about the recruitment at United, the investment in the squad. There are real options for Jack Ross tonight, and if he does need to change this game.
He has options, but one of the really interesting things about Dundee United this season, for me, is where are the goals going to come from? You look at it, you think Watt should score, Fletcher should score, Levitt should score, McGrath should score, but I'm interested to see, will they score? Fletcher, I think, got 3 in 40 last season. Watt is not a prolific goal scorer, although he looks like a guy who should be getting goals. Levitt and McGrath should get goals. There's so many good players there. I wonder, are they missing a prolific centre forward? Because if they had a prolific centre forward, dare I say it, Shankland, in this company, because he will have support. He didn't have support really at United. Out wide creators, he didn't have those creators. There are those creators kind of in this team now.
Yeah, Tom, I think that the interesting thing would be if you brought another like a number 9 whose role is to be round about the penalty box sniffing. What would you do with Fletcher then? Would you play 2 up top with Fletcher and this new player, and what would happen with Watt?
Look, Fletcher is a good hold-up player, isn't he?
He's a very good player. Now he's going to get better once he understands. Then the players understand him. But he's shown enough tonight for me to think that he's going to contribute for Dundee United this season, and he's going to be awkward to play against for sure.
And we've not spoken about Nicky Clark. Nicky Clark, he's a really clever player. He probably drops into holes more than anything. He's not that one that's. But he can finish him. He's in the box. He got 8 goals last season. So Nicky can go up there, and I would like to see maybe what does it look like with Nicky and Stephen Fletcher up top. You know what I mean? That is an option.
3-5-2, you think?
Maybe, once we get the wing back and he gets into the season and he's changing things, and he's certainly got the 3 centre halves to do it. We've mentioned Ross Graham, he can go and do that. So
and I bet you Jack himself is actually thinking those same things, Craig. He's probably just trying to work out just now with the group of players that he's got. We need to try and find a system that really everybody feels comfortable in, and that's quite difficult to do.
Because I think they'll create chances.
Yes, I do. I believe that. Yeah.
Because they clearly have the players to create chances, but who's going to be the guy who's going to get 12, 15 league goals?
I think Fletcher will get in the double figures, Tom. Yeah. I mean, I don't think he's going to hit 20, but I think he could reach 12 or 13, something like that. I think he looks. I've been quite impressed with him this evening, actually. And he's playing against really good defenders, remember?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, so I think there's encouragement there for sure with him. And I think Tony, this is the best I've seen Tony. What the fittest I've seen him so early in the season. I think he's been wonderful tonight, and mainly for his defensive play. He made 7 tackles, I think it was, in the first half, and won the ball back, in his own half, which, I know it's maybe been a bit disparaging about his work rate in the past, but certainly can't say that now.
Sounds like a great atmosphere at Canadice. Let's then get back to our commentary team. Dundee United against AZ Alkmaar with Craig Levine, Craig Easton and Rob McLean.
Kenny, forget the game. I've just been watching a masterclass in pie eating during the interval from these two alongside me. They managed to have two each, talk right through the interval, and Craig Levein managed to steal most of Craig Easton's notes that he had on his book as well. I mean, it's been an absolute joy to watch.
And I forgot about the cakes that I had in my bag. I've not even got them, Rob.
Well, let's get those out in a second.
Just going to let you know they're gone.
if it goes quiet in the second half, we're getting in about Craig Easton's cakes. Anyway, back to the action we come at Tannadice, and off we go for the second half. Ian Harkes gets us started. Both teams as they were, and Dundee United playing left to right as we look at it from our position in the gantry in the main stand. The noise has been incredible at times, and hopefully they're going to get all fired up again in this second half, because what's happening on the pitch very quickly transmits to the reaction you get off it. And just in case you haven't had the picture painted already, if you weren't with us earlier on, it is Dundee United fans right around the ground here, just 100 or so from the Netherlands supporting AZ Alkmaar, but plenty of backing here. 14,200 tickets, I think, sold to United fans.
It's great to see this place filled with Tangerine and Black Rock, because when you see this as a full house, it's often with Celtic or Rangers coming up and making it a full house. Yeah. And they've got, they've got the shed behind the goal usually and part of the fair play, but it's all United fans, and it's a great occasion for them all.
Boukema with the long ball immediately, going back to where they were first half with that ploy of launching balls inside the fullbacks, inside Kieran Freeman. It went for Michael Lachto, just too much on it, and it skidded through to Birighitti. And he bowls it out to Dylan Levitt on the left side of the pitch, and immediately switched across, fired across to Liam Smith. Down the right go Dundee United with Glenn Middleton on his first start for the team in Tangerine. Tried to find Harkes. His pass was cut out by Jordy Classy. Free kick for Alkmaar.
But it's Sibbald again though. Dundee United lose possession. Sibbald, he gave a foul away there, but he's in there nipping at heels, Craig. He's the one that stops the momentum for AZ. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, and I think that was very much part of his role with Livingston, and he's very, very good at it. On top of that, I think he's a good player as well. I think he's technically he's good, and he's got good energy. He's got an eye for goal as well.
You getting the kicks out?
It's lemon drizzle, Rob.
Oh, lemon drizzle. Yeah, Butte. Forward it goes to Danny DeVitt as we try to concentrate on the game with the whiff of lemon drizzle in our nostrils. It's never easy. Bruno Martins Indy with a pass, the AZ skipper to Reinders Kerkez, and back to the goalkeeper, who very similar to the first half has got a stand full of Dundee United fans behind him. Hobie Verhulst. Hadzi Diakos trying to make progress down the right hand side. Good determined challenges stopping him, and now United trying to create something. Ball played into Stephen Fletcher, and doesn't come off for him this time, but he has played with the sort of intelligence you expect from him in that central position, just trying to link and hold the ball up and prompt and probe and make things happen, and use the experience that comes from his so impressive CV. Levitt spins on the ball and curls a lovely pass out to the right hand side. Classy ball for Liam Smith. His cross, Fletcher reaching for the header, just couldn't get enough contact on it. It almost worked out for Harkes. Back into the box for United. It's Fletcher, and he's tugged it wide.
He just couldn't get the connection that he wanted. He's just hooked it a little bit. It's almost under his feet when it's broken to him. But the ball from Liam Smith, the whip cross, Fletcher's trying to hang in the air. He couldn't get enough hang time to just get enough on the header. But I really liked it from Kieran Freeman. He's up on the game. He makes the challenge, and then they get another bite at the cherry.
Yeah, good pressing by Kieran Freeman. At that time he read it perfectly. Managed to get in one ball, and then United had players in AZ's half, and players round about the box, and it was a good ball in by Liam Smith.
Just tried that hook shot with his back to goal, a spin and a hit and the power on the shot was pretty much strangled by the challenge, and it was deflected wide of target, well wide of target. Half a chance for Fletcher. Here goes Reinders on the charge for AZ. Well, Craig Sibbald was having a few nips at his heels on the way through. It was definitely a yellow card worth taking, because it took Reinders' eye off the ball, but it will be a free kick for AZ about 30 yards out.
When he started kicking him about 45 yards out,
yeah,
and he'd be better just bringing him down then.
Yeah,
like he was going to get a yellow card anyway, but he had 3 nibbles at him, and I don't know what is it, 30 odd yards for goal here. Hopefully this is not a dangerous situation.
Sibbald nibbled, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, well done.
He did, he had a few. It's left of centre, fully 30 yards, maybe more like 35, and it is AZ's number 6. Tijani Reinders, who is going to have a go here.
He looks class in the middle of the park. The way he plays, he's upright, and it was a good 1-2 and a good drive there just to win the free kick.
This could be a test for Birighitti. Free kick AZ, important moments. Early second half at Tannadice. Up steps Reinders, the wall does its job, it's deflected out wide. Etienne tries to play it back in, good challenge by Kieran Freeman across on the right side. Took the sting out of that cross, and it's gone out in the end for a throw-in, which Etienne will leave to Kerkez. The 18-year-old Hungarian looks a talented boy, certainly, and he must be if he's made it into that senior squad already. Here he is, he gets the break of the ball, he's jinking into the box. Reinders now with a shot from open play, and again there's a good block on it, which takes the power out of it, and it spins through to Mark Birighitti in goal.
We were behind Reinders, and I thought he was going to go for the inside of the foot, the curl into the right. It looked kind of opened up for that. He tried to straight lace it, and it kind of went. It blocked it, and it went through to didn't trouble Birighitti at all.
Tony Watts lost the ball this time, but no damage done, because Lachto had the chance to make something happen, and he got the pass all wrong, and it went straight through to Birighitti, and Tony Watts relieved about that, because he'd lost the ball on halfway, and suddenly there were lots of blue shirts flooding forward. Back again with the Australian, the new goalkeeper for United. Benji Siegrist's replacement, Mark Birighitti. That gave them an early scare with a chip ball out, which almost put his team in big trouble, but other than that, looked pretty solid. He's experienced, and Dundee United work the ball up the left side again towards Tony Watt. Keeps it this time, keeps possession, and Charlie Mulgrew back again with Birighitti. Out to Mulgrew, left-hand side, slipping as he plays the ball forward. Hadzi Diakos fields it comfortably. Reinders, impressive, right in the middle of the pitch for AZ. And gets the ball back from his skipper, Martin Zindi. And now it's Jordi Clasie on the right side of the midfield trio. Controls it on his chest and rolls it inside for Etienne, the young Norwegian. Bruno Martin Zindi with Ian Harkes getting close. The ball to Baukema and Clasie. And Lachto linking with Etienne. Now it's Kerkez, the fullback. Etienne is in with a chance. Great challenge by Liam Smith. It's fired in again by Kerkez. And they just could not find that finishing touch. Close in, 6 yards out. It's gone behind for a corner.
It's really good patient build up by AZ, and they just got the wit in between, in that little hole in between the Dundee United midfield and back four, and he just found a little space and he played it. And then I think it was Etienne got in behind, and it was a nice little pass round the corner to him, and he just really couldn't get a connection. But Dundee United, they're defending their box really well, but I think it was really good controlled play in the build-up from AZ that just created that space in between the lines.
Etienne started well this half, isn't he? He looks very, very lively.
Yeah, and he was trying to con everyone into thinking that was a corner kick as well. He took the ball out to the corner flag, and the referee politely told him, no, that's a goal kick. So it is Mark Birighitti to get us restarted at Tannadice. Dundee United 0, AZ Alkmaar 0. BBC Radio Scotland coverage of this Europa Conference League qualifier, the third qualifying round, first leg. It all happens very quickly at this stage, and it is the return next week in the Netherlands, in Alkmaar. Middleton loses the ball cheaply, and it's Jordi Claessy to Bruno Martins Indy, and back through Boukema to the goalkeeper. Verhulst hammers it downfield, and Ryan Edwards is there with a good header to find Stephen Fletcher. The layoff from Levitt to Sibbald, back up to Fletcher. Doesn't stick for Stephen Fletcher, and now it is AZ who look to create something with Reinders inside left channel. Works it wide. Effien, the Norwegian, curls a high ball beyond the back post. Nodded back in by the man on the other side, Lachdo, but no takers. Two blue shirts in the box. Neither could get there on the end of that, and it bounces into the gloves of Birighitti. Craig Sibbald to Liam Smith. Right-hand side, United, long ball down the pitch, watched closely by Martins Indy, controlled it really well, fired it away, but he was under pressure, good pressure from Middleton, which looked as if it might give the ball away. Well, AZ got it back, but there's a foul by De Witt, and a free kick for the home team on the halfway line, the foul on Dylan Levitt.
Big Martins Indy has looked composed at the back for AZ, but yeah, you put him under pressure, he's going to kick it. And then, to be fair to Dundee United, when they have kicked long, Dundee United have got on a lot of the second balls, and they've really been able to then start their attack of their own.
Just about 9 minutes into the second half at Tannadice, 0-0 it is. Can Dundee United get a lead to take to the Netherlands? The ball into the box for Fletcher, flicked on towards Harks, well dealt with defensively by Reinders, as Dundee United looked for a chance to test out Hobie Verhulst, the goalkeeper. Free kick given in the end inside the AZ penalty box.
Rob, I'll tell you what I think's interesting about Stephen Fletcher. Last season, Dundee United, if they wanted to, couldn't really go long. You know, they didn't have the players to do that, but Fletcher's won, I would say, 75% of his headers this evening. And not just that, he's been very accurate but where he's placing them.
Yeah, he's used the ball well.
Yeah, it's another. Oh, here we go.
Reinders rolls it through, and the shot hammered in by Pavlidis goes wide of target. He was right side of the penalty box. He's getting a little bit of stick from the Dundee United fans in that corner, and he's giving a bit back, the Greek international striker, who leathered that shot, but it looked to be well wide.
No, it was Mark Birighitti actually got a hand to it. He was looking for a corner because Mark Birighitti went back onto his line to prepare for the corner. The referee gives the goal kick, but it just shows you a little bit of lax in concentration there, a lack of concentration. I thought it was just maybe Charlie Mulgrew got caught out of position there. He's maybe trying to get on the ball, so he's thinking about that side. As soon as it gets turned over, though, that's when you're most vulnerable.
Yeah, they really ramp up the speed of play, don't they, when they win the ball back.
0-0 at Tannadice. Tony Watt's flick to Birigitti's clearance, back to him from Fletcher, and there's a late challenge on Tony Watt, and the yellow card is out again. It's Hadzidiakos this time.
I don't think that would have mattered what size of shin guard they had there, Tony Watt. He kind of got taken out knee height.
The free kick is a few yards in from the touchline. Brian, a change coming up.
Yeah, you can hear the applause for Jamie McGrath, who'll be coming on, making his debut tonight for Dundee United. The player is replacing Craig Sibbald.
Well, what a good player he was for St Mirren. He's broken through into the Irish international setup. He wants back there. Hasn't been featuring for Wigan. He's on loan here for the season, and he could be a very important introduction in this game. So it's the set-piece opportunity for United. 4 in the box, 3 just outside, and just a couple of yards in from the touchline, left-hand side for this free kick. In it comes from Levitt, the head flick, and it was Ryan Edwards who In fact, it was Charlie Mulgrew who got his head to it, and it's gone wide. And immediately Verhulst launches it down the pitch, and Freeman has a swing and a miss. And Dundee United get back quickly to try to help him out. And they do have the ball now, and it's Freeman, in fact, who can clear and get the ball up to the halfway line. It evades everybody in Tangerine. Back it comes. Mulgrew's header out of defence. Then it's De Witt forward. Edwards stays cool and calm under pressure, and Smith curls one down the line looking for Glenn Middleton. It's won though by Kerkez, and they're moving quickly again. AZ Alkmaar into the box for Kerkez, and he shoots straight at the goalkeeper. Well, he started that move and he was in on the end of it to get the pass from Etienne, and in the end it was a pretty tame effort and an easy save for Birighitti. Now in response, here come Dundee United. Great play from Glenn Middleton, wants it back. What a goal! Glenn Middleton scores his first goal for Dundee United. The Tannadice team are back in Europe, and they're back with a bang. United 1, AZ 0.
Well, what a goal, Rob. We just had a chance up the other end for AZ, and United go right down the pitch. Glenn Middleton, he starts to move off. I think he plays a 1-2 at the edge of the box. He gets it back into his path, and he just bends it. He doesn't even hit it hard. He just feels the ball. Nice little curling shot into the side net. It was an excellent composed finish.
It was a great goal. It really was. And I mean, I think when he managed to squirm between the two AZ players down on the touchline here, it was always a dangerous situation from that point onwards. But he showed great composure just to sort of curl the ball with his left foot into just inside the post on the far side, and the goalkeeper had no chance whatsoever.
Well, I think it tells a story that it was number 5 Kerkez that had a shot at the other side. He's playing left back.
Yeah.
He's out of position. You know, maybe United took advantage of that. As right to say, Middleton, he maybe squirms in between. It's maybe not the natural defenders that he squirmed in between, and then they were in real trouble. They were a man down, and it was an excellent finish.
It was good to see him being really, really positive, wasn't it? You know, he just decided he was going to go quick touch with his left foot, second touch, and he's in between the two of them, and he's heading directly for goal. And I thought it was a brilliant goal.
He struck that with complete conviction to Glenn Middleton. He knew he was going to score. He did score. It's his first start for United. It's his first goal for the club, and I think Craig Easton makes a really good point there. Dundee United immediately attacking a weak spot for AZ, with that left back area vacant, and Kerkez, having had that shot at goal, immediately up the pitch, and it was all about Glenn Middleton getting himself into the danger zone, and then with real composure and quality, curling a left footer around Verhulst, and Dundee United have a golden goal here. Can they keep the upper hand? It's Tony Watt who rolls it inside. Dylan Levitt just outside the box, left hand side, clips it in, back post, just a little bit too much on it, because it was Middleton who was again making a move towards the ball. It just soared over his head and behind for the goal kick.
And AZ are obviously a little bit rattled. Anytime Dundee United are now getting it round about the box, they're trying to find a half a yard either to shoot or put a ball into the box to keep the pressure on, and that's what they should be doing. And obviously they don't want to go kamikaze, Craig. Control the game as well, but when they've got the opportunity, keep putting the pressure on with the fans behind them.
Yeah, I mean, they've really lifted the noise levels in the stadium, hasn't it? And it's really good play, and United have been really good in this second half up to now.
Etienne on the ball for AZ, who looked to bite back immediately. Jordy Classy, Reinders looks to roll it through, just slips under the boot of the Greek international Pavlidis, and racing off his line is Birighitti to pounce on that loose ball.
United have been very good this half, but at the same time, AZ have got in twice down that left-hand side with Etienne and also Kerkez just linking up. I think Kerkez should have done better with his shot, in terms of it looked like it was maybe in the middle of his body. He couldn't get his left foot round it or try to get it into the corner, and right away Dundee United take advantage and go up the other end of the park. But AZ were actually having not a bad little spell in terms of getting round about that area, but Dundee United are on the front foot, pressing high and giving AZ no time at all.
Really good bit of pressing there just moments ago by Jamie McGrath. right at the edge of the penalty box, and he very nearly stole the ball for United, who have it now with Middleton, who's on a high. Having scored that goal, his confidence is soaring, and he's threatening.
And he's just a pass there,
yeah, he just did a little bit too much at the edge of the area, but maybe entitled to do so. As the ball is played up, and it's Pavlidis who tries to get away from Mulgrew. Charlie Mulgrew recovers with a lunging, sliding tackle to block the shot at goal. It breaks the way of Effiene, just at the edge of the box, back with Pavlidis, and his pocket is picked by Dylan Levitt, who gets the ball and gets away down the pitch to Middleton for United. Back to Liam Smith, he launches it, it's gone out of play. Well, it's been a breathless little spell, and Dundee United lead here against AZ Alkmaar by a 0-0.
Craig, do you think was for me, is a positive substitution putting the Grad on instead of who was it that came off?
Craig Sybil.
Yeah,
Sybil, yeah.
And he's a more attacking player.
He's a more attacking player. He's also, Craig Sybil done a lot of work in that first half. There's just more legs in there as well. But yeah, he's going to add a little bit more attacking threat. And you look at Dylan Levitt as a centre midfielder. I'm loving watching him here tonight. He's
so composed.
Reading the game, he's composed, he's making really good decisions in the ball. I love that he always likes to try and play forward into Stephen Fletcher's feet. If that's not on, his default ball's to a wide player or a fullback.
And invariably,
he's just making the game look easy.
The weight of pass is 9 times out of 10 is spot on, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a big thing.
I think AZ Alkmaar have been just shaken out of their stride at the moment, losing a little bit of composure. The goalkeeper has just launched a clearance directly out of play, and they are hearing a major noise from the Dundee United fans at the moment, who roared that shot from Middleton in, and they're now hoping their team can get the job done here and take an advantage over to Alkmaar next Thursday night and complete the European mission. And it would be a major scalp if they could take it. There's lots of football though to be played, and this is a quality opponent, no doubt about it. Dundee United equipping themselves really well so far. Harks on halfway, hammered at Jamie McGrath, difficult to control. Back it goes to Ian Harks, does well, quick feet, good balance. Back with Jamie McGrath, Middleton, and the pass back to Jamie McGrath, intercepted by De Witt underneath us. Out for a throw in, Dundee United 1 up.
That was better from Harks, wasn't it, Craig? He does really well, he uses his energy, gets about, wins possession, and then he has the little bit of composure just to play the pass and keep possession.
Jamie McGrath,
he has
sorry
got
Craig.
Sorry Rob, yeah, he has got it. I think he gets a wee bit excited at times.
Yep.
I must mention also as well, the two centre-backs for United have been excellent tonight. They've hardly put a foot wrong at all.
I was just going to say, Jamie McGrath is clearly intent on making an instant impression in front of his new fans. Lots of classy contributions already, and he looks as if he could have an impact in this game. And Dundee United already a goal up, but they have to beware, they have to keep the door shut at the other end. Forward it goes for Alkmaar from Bokema, cleared at the edge of the box by Smith, but the team in blue have it. Reinders has looked impressive throughout, and he is on the ball right in the middle of the pitch with Jordi Classy at close quarters. Cross it goes to Bokema, and Hadzidiakos down the line, and that's good play from Kieran Freeman. It was a mistake initially from Michael Lachto, who let the ball slip under his boot. Then Freeman got his body in the way. He was knocked over. Free kick, Dundee United.
Robert, I'm just watching this play in the last 2 or 3 minutes, and sometimes without instruction, players will start to try and protect the lead. And I've noted that Dundee United have started to back off a little bit, whereas up until now, for the last 3 to 4 minutes, they were after the opposition to try and win the ball higher up the field. So, and this, I can guarantee you, this is not an instruction from Jack. No. To sit a bit
it just
deeper.
Happens subconsciously.
It does.
Yeah.
You think that you're safer the more bodies you're closer to your goal.
Yeah. And you just feel that would be a major mistake if Dundee United get into that protection mode. They have to stay on the front foot. They can't afford, Craig, to be giving any encouragement to the team in blue.
Yeah, they've been getting more joy out of pressing. You're right, you've been getting more joy out of putting under pressure, and AZ, defensive third. Can he stay high? Can he be brave and keep pressing him like that? Yes, you've got to be careful, and so far they've done that. Craig's mentioned, Charlie Mulgrew and Ryan Edwards. They've had to be on their toes all night because Big Pavlidis is a good player.
He is a good player.
It's just he hasn't got that bit of pace that when he does get past one, he can't get past.
I think he's got a short burst.
Okay, yeah.
But I don't think he's got sustained.
Because Charlie Mulgrew got back to him there,
yeah.
and he seems to do that. Has a nice bit of footwork, moves the ball on, or gets past someone. They always get back to him. So it's quite lucky he's not got that bit of pace. But yeah, Edwards and Mulgrew. Yeah, he's tidy.
Not much more than 20 minutes to go. Forward goes Bruno Martins Indy, the skipper. Almost into nosebleed territory for him. Taken away from him by Reinders, who's dictated a lot of the play for the Dutch team. Martins Indy, left foot cross, really good one, curling into the box. Lots of pace on it. Charlie Mulgrew looked as if he was going to try and head it away. It went beyond him. It's bounced behind for a goal kick. But what a ball in that was for the captain.
Rob, I think he's deliberately let that go.
Yeah.
Really? And it's dangerous because he could have headed
what's
it
behind him.
I know
because of the position the ball's coming from. It's not like he could have opened up his body too much.
I know. I've watched Charlie play a lot, and sometimes he'll take risks. And I mean, it was a great decision because
it was.
Wherever he headed it, there was more chance that it was going to land at the opposition's feet. So I thought it was a brilliant decision. But if the player behind him had continued with his run, he might have been in trouble.
It was a good leave.
It was a great leave. If it was a leave.
Yeah. And it was a great ball in. There was real quality on the ball in, wasn't there?
It's difficult to defend because it's not wide enough. So it's coming from in the park more. So the defenders are now running back to their own goal in terms of, if Charlie headers that,
it's going to be a corner, isn't it?
Or an OG if he doesn't get it right.
AZ have just made a change. Milan van Brederode has come on winning. Number 33, 19-year-old, fresh legs on the pitch for AZ Alkmaar. Meantime, a free kick on the halfway line. 1-0 Dundee United against AZ. Charlie Mulgrew to take it. Dundee United fans, lots of them making lots of noise and hopeful that their team can pull off a big win. And if they get it, it would be a really big win. As a crossfield ball from Levitt goes astray. Not too much has gone astray for him. That did, flying out for the throw-in for young Kerkez, the left back for Alkmaar, into the middle. Boukema back to the goalkeeper Verhulst. Left-footed clearance up to halfway. Liam Smith's leap. Middleton gets there, rolls it back to Mulgrew. He's done a lot of work, Glenn Middleton, in the game, apart from scoring the only goal of the game so far. His first for United, brilliantly taken. What do Alkmaar have in response? Good defending from Ryan Edwards as the ball went down the right side for Alkmaar, and the striker Pavlidis tried to get on the end of it. Good pace from the skipper to get there first for Dundee United. Down the pitch, Middleton putting pressure on Kerkez, the left back. He just got a little bit too close to him, and the contact, well, if there was contact.
Contact was before the actual foul.
Well, he went down in installments, didn't he? But I guess that was clever play from him to get the free kick. But it's won back by Jamie McGrath. Great sliding challenge to nip it away from Reinders. Down goes Middleton. Free kick against Danny De Wit. They're just losing their cool a little bit here at times, AZ Alkmaar, as this game at the moment goes against them.
Well, it's McGrath's tackle, it's excellent. He not only slides, he wins the ball, puts Glenn Middleton away, and Glenn again running at people, asking them questions, and you're getting into a stage where players have been getting run at all the game, and there's little fouls now, little pushes, little trips. And it's great for Dundee United because it's a good position now. Charlie Mulgrew's got a left-footed free kick on this side. He's going to whip this one right into the goal, and he's going to see if Stephen Fletcher can get himself across someone.
We're into the last 20 minutes at Tannadice. This free kick, as Craig says, 10 yards in from the touchline, right-hand side, midway into the Alkmaar half, and it might be just the sort of angle that Charlie Mulgrew likes to be able to put this in a really dangerous area. 4 in the box for United, couple outside. 1-0 up, the home team. Here's the free kick. Charlie Mulgrew, lots of pace on it, spins off an AZ head, and in the end, FEN completes the clearance. bouncing towards Freeman. Heads it forward towards Tony Watt. Great control from him on the touchline, and he wins the throw, and he didn't like that stamping challenge as he saw it from the Greek fullback Hatzidakos.
It's been quite interesting actually. This half, Tony's hardly been in most of the plays come down Glenn Middleton's side.
Yeah, and it was the other way around in the first half.
Yeah, exactly. And Tony was much more involved in the first half.
Lovely flick, brilliant skills from Dylan Levitt, but AZ have it, and they look to spark on the counter here, and it's the substitute involved, and he plays a pass towards Kerkez, and Kerkez is cleaned out by Middleton as he was heading for the byline outside the penalty box left-hand side. He went sliding in, Middleton, didn't get the ball, he did get the young fullback. Free kick, AZ.
Glenn Middleton can't have any complaints about that.
No.
You know, he could have stood up.
He is complaining though.
I know, I can't believe it though. But you know, we all had a smile on our face and a wee chuckle when Dylan Levitt just produced a little bit of skill in the middle. Probably the best bit of skill in the game. It was kind of one of those Zidane turns, but he's kind of just it's like a double back heel, isn't it? Great awareness.
15 minutes to go at Tannadice. Dundee United 1, AZ Alkmaar 0. Glenn Middleton's goal. Van Brederode is the substitute who flicked that ball on towards Kerkez. It's going to be Reinders to take the free kick, a couple of yards outside the box, left-hand side. What can AZ summon up here? A goal down at Tannadice. Sold out Tannadice. Reinders rolls it to the edge of the box for Martin Zindi. It's a great shot from him, and it's headed away by Ryan Edwards. Birighitti was flying across his goal, but his captain got there first with his head. It's gone behind for the corner.
Yeah, great defending by Edwards. I don't know if the goalkeeper would have got it, possibly, but why take any chances?
Yeah, it was an important moment to plant his head on that, Edwards. Corner kick, in at the near post, low, defended by Charlie Mulgrew. And Tony Watt was there as well to make sure that they smuggled that away. Down the pitch, Alkmaar have it with Van Brederode, and it's back at the back with Boukema now and Jordi Classy. They come into this competition with real confidence. They won 5-0 Alkmaar in the last round on aggregate, and they had plenty of belief that they would lay the foundations here tonight. They might still do for the second leg in the Netherlands next week, but currently trailing by a goal to nil. And you're with BBC Radio Scotland coverage of the big match. Martin Zindi with a pass out wide. Van Brederode to Kerkez. He squares it to Reinders. He's 30 yards out. It took a while for anybody to get to him. Eventually, Ryan Edwards came lunging out towards the midfield, and it was a dangerous moment, but his shot sliced well wide.
Yeah, he done enough in the end, Ryan Edwards, just to put, I think it was Reinders off. You know, but I was just looking at that before. It's a shot from 25 yards, and I think Dundee United's shape really just, you know, I was really impressed by it there. They were
keeping him away from goal, weren't they?
Yeah, and the communication, it was like, you know, the fullback, AZ's fullbacks are pushing on, so there's a lot of communication between Tony Watt and Kieran Freeman. The same on this side, William Smith and Glenn Middleton.
Here's another change for Dundee United, Brian.
Yeah, the roars you can hear from the crowd for the goal scorer Glenn Middleton. His race has been run. The player coming on, it will be Ilmari Niskanen for the last 12 minutes or so.
Yeah, Dundee United's number 7 off the bench, and Glenn Middleton gets a big hug down on the touchline from Jack Ross. His goal at the moment is the only one. What a result, Craig Levine, this could be to take to the Netherlands next week.
Yeah, I mean, it's not all done, of course, and there's still a lot of work to be done before the end of this match, and then there is the very difficult trip across to play in where is Alkmaar?
It's in Alkmaar. It's about half an hour from Amsterdam.
Yeah, so I mean, they've still got that to tackle, but I mean, all they can do is deal with what they're facing just now and concentrate and try and get to the end of this match with a 1-0 intact, or maybe even sneak a second goal.
Not that Colin the engineer's wanting to go to the second leg, but he was very quick there with the exact geographical location of Alkmaar for next Thursday.
We look at Omari Niskanen just replacing Glenn Middleton.
And here he is wriggling towards the byline. In goes Kerkez. The assistant, I think, was going through a little multiple choice in his head about what he was going to give there. He has given Dundee United the corner.
And what I was going to say is, we spoke there at half time, I think it was Kenny mentioned, you know, he does a lot of work. He's now playing in a 4-3-3. He's going to have to still go and help his fullback, but can he then keep doing what Glenn Middleton was doing and keep testing that Alkmaar back four?
Well, he should have the energy. I mean, he's coming on, what, 10 minutes left or so?
Yep. But just over 10 minutes. A big blast of applause for Dylan Levitt as he came across the corner. Levitt with the delivery from the corner flag out, swinging. Well, there was nobody.
They should have saved the applause, actually, Rob.
Yeah, well,
I think that's his worst contribution tonight. I think you take that, eh?
Yeah.
Or you get the applause at that point because you're not going to get any after you've taken the corner kick, which was disappointing. But United are getting themselves into a good position here with Liam Smith down the right side towards the corner. That's just next door to the Tannadice tunnel. You know the one. United 1, Alkmaar 0. And heading fast towards the final 10 minutes, on the brink of a big result. United, any win to take to Alkmaar next week is a good win, and if they can win this tonight, it also gives them a big blast of belief as well that they can play well over there and get the job done. Good play from McGrath and Niskanen combining the two subs, and it's Cannon behind off an AZ defender, and Dundee United are going to have another corner, and hopefully Dylan Levitt makes a better job of this one.
Really good play from McGrath. He just saw that little reverse pass inside to Niskanen, and that's where I want to see Omari Niskanen pick out across. Maybe just lift it up, beat the first man and ask a question.
The outswinging corner kick on its way into the box, and it's the Greek striker Pavlidis who heads it away. Back in from Liam Smith. Martin Zindi clears it. Charlie Mulgrew, 30 yards out, great hit from them. It was curling, it was dipping, and the goalkeeper Verhulst flung himself across at the left-hand side, and it dips just wide.
I love that. You know, the ball's not even reached Charlie, and they're all shouting, shoot!
I don't think he needed the encouragement, to be honest. I think he was always going to take that on, and there was a lot of action on the ball as well before it bounced wide. Out to Kerkez, who's under real pressure from Niskanen. Back to the goalkeeper. He has to hurry as well because Stephen Fletcher's right on top of him. It's gone out for a throw-in just underneath us on the halfway line. And it will be Milos Kerkez, the teenage Hungarian. Takes the throw, gets it back, fires it into the middle. Baukema on the ball. And Hadzidiakos on the right side of that AZ backline with Baukema again. Hadzidiakos looks to nip away from Tony Watt, and well, only in his head he knows what he was attempting to do there with a cross ball from the right hand side, which has gone way off target.
It's a good opportunity, Robbie. He had a bit of space, he had a bit of time, and he's got to put that in the middle of the penalty box to, you know, he's got a decent bit of height in there with Pavlidis, and I think Davitt was in there as well, looking for a run from midfield. You've got to ask questions of Dundee United's defenders there. It was a really good opportunity missed.
I'll take you back to the first 5 or 10 minutes of the match and how confident AZ were, and they were bossing the match and looked as if they were full of confidence and felt superior. I think they're rattled now, I really do. I think that they're clutching things like that where he lost his composure completely to put a good area to put the ball in the box, and he just didn't manage to do it.
And that's a compliment to how Dundee United have put them under pressure in their faces most of the game. You know, as soon as a player gets the ball, look at Niskanen's on it now, and he's putting on under real pressure. Smith's up backing him up, and now it breaks. It's just, you know, it's been that tempo. It's been a real intensity about the play.
Handball by Jamie McGrath. It was good play as well between him and Niskanen out on the right hand side until that happened. There's a real work ethic about Dundee United, really getting about their business, really getting in the faces of the AZ players. Jordy Classy with the ball clipped over the top of the United defence, looking for the movement of Etienne, who was coming in off the right-hand side, but across to the right-hand side of his penalty box to grab the ball is Mark Birighitti. And Dundee United closing in here, about 8 minutes to go. They lead by Glenn Middleton's goal 2-0. A second would be absolute dynamite for them, but any win's got to be good, you would imagine, against this quality of opposition. Tony Watt on the ball, left-hand side, at close range. Ian Harkes back again, and Watt's on the move again, but just clips the ball too far ahead of himself this time. Even he's not going to catch that one, and it goes behind for the goal kick.
I don't know what Jack Ross. I think Jack Ross was just wanting the ball moved simply, moved quicker. You know, it's went to Tony Watt and he thinks he can maybe nip by somebody, but I think Jack Ross was just saying, keep that ball moving, keep it AZ Alkmaar, you know, having to adjust their position. I think that's what he was wanting to do at that moment in time. There was no really need to force it.
They lost to Celtic a year ago in the Europa League playoff round before reaching the conference knockout stages, where ironically they lost to Bodo Glimt, who had beaten Celtic before that. They are used to making European progress as at Alkmaar, and they will still believe they can do so over the two legs, but right now losing to a Dundee United team back in Europe after a 10-year absence. Good skills from Etienne on the attack for AZ. Now with Kerkez left-hand side, trying to slip a pass out to the sub, Van Brederode, but good sliding challenge, intercepts and fires the ball out of play. Milos Kerkez again, left-hand side for AZ Alkmaar. Jordy Classy back with Martins in the halfway line. Classy again, down the line, and Niskanen is doing a really good job on the right side for United. Up and down that touchline, doing good work to thwart the opposition. In it goes towards Etienne, spins out towards Pavlidis, back with Reinders, middle of the pitch, 35 yards from goal, back it goes. Martins Indy, the captain, rolls it wide. Kerkez looking for that half yard to get the ball in the box, and Niskanen wasn't allowing it. Good play from the Finnish substitute again. Now Etienne, Pavlidis looks to get that half yard for the shot at goal, and it's pushed away by the diving Birighitti. Thought they might be onto an equaliser, they still might be. It's Pavlidis again from the right side of the box, who flashes one across the face of goal, no takers.
Yeah, it just shows you how dangerous he is, the way, I mean, round about that penalty box he comes alive, and I mean the first attempt was decent, a good save, and I thought his second attempt was probably a wrong decision, but I thought it was very difficult to score at such a tight angle.
But he didn't have many options in the box, Craig. He's flashed that across him, and you're
think he was trying to ask a question of maybe even the Dundee United defender putting the ball in his own net.
Is he not entitled to be thinking to be somebody coming into the 6-yard box?
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, Mark Birighitti did really well there. He makes a save, which is quite a standard save, but he palms it into an area where, you know, there's not as much danger in it. I think that's a big thing.
Pavlidis is heading towards the byline and winning a corner kick off Niskanen. 2 minutes to go in regulation time. Nicky Clark is standing by, but he'll not be on before this corner kick is taken. Well, Dundee United don't want to be conceding at this stage, that is for sure. Corner kick, AZ Alkmaar, left-hand side. Reinders swings it in. It's a Tony Watt header that gets it clear, but United quickly lose possession. Van Brederode, the sub down the left side, looking to find a crossing position. Then it's Kerkez, and the free kick is going to be given against Tony Watt. It wasn't too malicious, it was clumsy into the back of the young fullback, and it's a set-piece opportunity for the Dutch team.
It was silly though, it was a silly decision to challenge in that area, because Dundee United had everybody behind the ball. There wasn't really a clear situation for danger.
Could Dylan Levitt have cleared his lines?
He could have done.
No,
yeah, he could have done
a wee bit. Yeah. In that instance, we're praising his composure. That's maybe the one you just get. You know, you get it away.
We are inside the 90th minute at Tannadice. United are a goal up. AZ have a free kick out on the left. Efjen, left-footed, curled in. Ryan Edwards wins the header, gets it clear. The captain doing his job. And Tony Watt gleefully thumps the ball downfield. We'll find out shortly how much time is going to be added on here. How much time separates United from a first leg win against top-class opposition. Efjen for Alkmaar in the centre circle. Cross on the right side. Hadzidiakos into the box it goes. The knockdown from De Witt, offside. Well, he had a touch and a turn and a shot at goal, did Pavlidis, but as he did so, up shot the flag on the far side. It's offside. It's a free kick, Dundee United, and we're heading into stoppage time, and we've got 3 minutes to be added.
Yeah, I wonder who's coming off. I don't know if he'll take Fletcher off, because his aerial height, you know, might be useful at set pieces between now and the end of the match. But he is going to take Fletcher off.
He's going to be one major asset, I think, to Dundee United. Stephen Fletcher. You just look at the impressive CV that he has. He's been round so many clubs, Hibs and Burnley and Wolves and Sunderland, Sheffield Wednesday and Stoke. 33 Scotland caps along the way. Plays with real intelligence, and he's done a good job tonight for his team, no doubt. Nicky Clark replaces him.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with him. I mean, I think he won nearly all of his aerial duels. He held the ball up. I mean, he had a couple of flicks and little touches around the corners that didn't quite work out, but you could see exactly what he was trying to do. And I think he's going to be very, very useful for Dundee United. And
I think, Craig, even better when other players get on his wavelength and understand the flicks and the touches and what he's trying to do.
Definitely, and I think as a midfielder, when you know you've got a striker ahead of you that's going to hold things up, it's going to be a presence. It gives you a bit more confidence that you can go and play and find them.
It's a booking for Ryan Edwards and a free kick for AZ Alkmaar. Wasn't totally sure about that one at all, but there seems to be a bit of blood on the back of the head of Pavlidis after that altercation with the Dundee United captain. He's sprinting across to the touchline to get that patched up so he can get back on and be involved in these final moments of the match.
Quite good self-diagnosis. I quite like that.
Dr. Pavlidis. Free kick in the middle of the pitch for AZ. Reinders swings it into the box. It's Edwards who heads it away. Jordy Classy took on the right foot volley 30 yards out. It was blocked. Van Brederode, right hand side, swings in the cross ball, missed by everybody until Niskanen got there to clear on the far side. In fact, it was Kieran Freeman who got it away and out on the far side for Dundee United. We've added 2 minutes. We've added a fair bit of the third minute as well, and it is going to be a throw-in for Dundee United on the far side. So if they take it cleverly from here, that could be that in this first leg, and this has got to be a massive result for the home team.
That was the biggest cheer I've ever heard for a foul throw.
I was going to say the last time I saw it was 1978, I think.
No, but United fans can smell it. You know, it's a big 1-0 victory if it is going to be that, and their side has fully deserved it in terms of how much work, you know, how much effort they've put into their side and how much quality as well in some of their play. And the way they've defended the last sort of 10-15 minutes, Craig.
Yeah, I think they've been, honestly, I think the two centre-backs have been wonderful. The goalkeeper got off the kind of shaky start, but I think after that he's been pretty solid. He's patrolled the edge of his box. He's been very clever with the decisions he's making, but when to come out and take the ball and when to stay in his line.
Yeah, he's looked as if somebody is going to give a fair bit of confidence to the defenders in front of him. It is full time at Tannadice. Dundee United celebrate their European return after 10 years of looking in from the outside. They take centre stage again, they grab centre stage again, and they deliver a big European result inflicting defeat on a team well used to making big progress in the European competitions around this time of year. AZ Alkmaar, they started with real confidence about the job in hand, but Dundee United have got to them, they've got at them, and they've beaten them, and they take that 1-0 advantage to Alkmaar next Thursday. Can they get the job done? They know what lies beyond. It is a playoff match against Gil Vicente or Riga from Latvia. That's what lies ahead. This job is still to be completed, but any win tonight had to be a good win against this quality of team, and they have done just that. Mark Birighitti, very confident in goal, but he hasn't had to make a wonder save in the course of the 90 minutes. That speaks volumes for the way United have defended in front of him, and it was a moment of magic from Glenn Middleton to win the game. He started on the right touchline, he squeezed between a couple of Alkmaar players, got himself into the danger zone, and when the chance presented itself, he just whipped a left footer around the goalkeeper to bring this stadium to maximum volume. It's been a noisy night at Tannadice for all the right reasons. A sellout crowd, and they have loved every moment, Craig Levine.
Yeah, it's been a wonderful performance, you know, and I think that the United supporters have been waiting for quite a while now to get back into Europe. And I mean, I don't know the last time that the stadium was full with just Dundee United supporters, and it's wonderful to see it. So pleased for them, so pleased for Jack and Liam Fox and the backroom staff, and for the players as well. Half the job done, but I'd much rather be in this position than the opposition are.
Without a doubt, and a lot of new signings. We spoke about it before the start of the game, and it looks like Glenn Middleton turns up tonight, and he's on that right hand side, his first start, and he caused real problems for AZ Alkmaar all night. His work rate, his graft, his effort, you know, he backed up Liam Smith anytime he went with his runners. We said, you know, he maybe get caught out once, he didn't get caught out again, Craig, and he didn't, and you know what, I think if they were vulnerable, Dundee United, it was the full-backs that we were a wee bit worried about. In the second half, I thought they were excellent in the second half.
The tie's not over, but Dundee United have given themselves a big chance. 1-0 winners here. Let's hear from Charlie Mulgrew.
Charlie, many congratulations. What a 90 minutes. What were your reflections on that?
Listen, they're a good side, and we knew it was going to be difficult at times, but we stuck at it. We got a good goal and a decent result, but we're only half time, so we're thankful for the fans to come out and support us tonight. They really gave us that extra wee lift, and we're thankful for that, but it's only half time.
Yeah, only over 14,000 here tonight. What an incredible experience this is.
It's brilliant. I mean, we're delighted to be involved in it, but we don't want to just be here. We want to take part in it, we want to do well, so we're happy with the result tonight, but we've got another leg to go on, and that'll be a completely different game again. They'll be determined at home, and we're going to need to go away in Europe and put on a performance. But I hope the fans can enjoy this result, but we need to look forward and look to the next one.
Clean sheet next week, and you're there.
I know, but it's a completely different game. Of course, that's the obvious. I mean, who tell you that?
Enjoy the night.
Thank you.
Dundee United in the Europa